Stay tuned for that. But joining us right now in studio is our pal Chris Russell, who you can listen to from 1 to 4 on the Team 980.
Christopher.
What's up, Rooster?
Fellas.
Quite a bonus. I did not expect the Rooster in studio. I ran into him in the bathroom, and I was pleasantly surprised.
I barely made it in more ways than one.
I can't remember, Rooster, but I saw in the last day or two, I'm paraphrasing, but you essentially tweeted out, and I told you so.
Oh.
What was that all about?
I was wondering.
I think it was about Jason Wright.
Yeah, I was wondering if this invitation
Can you
was
fill me in?
Partially about that. Well,
No.
as you guys
Trav invited you. I had no idea, but I saw that, and I didn't know the full background.
All right, so as you guys know,
Yes.
the Rooster might be kindly towards engaging in a few Twitter wars.
Yes.
Or X wars or whatever the hell it is. Right? Occasionally, I get my dander up.
Right.
My feathers get ruffled.
Yeah.
Okay? So here's the deal. When Jason Wright came out on JP and B. Mitch's show last Wednesday and said, we're done with the Redskins, I said, that's great. That's what he should have said. However, was he speaking for Josh Harris, Mitchell Rales, Magic Johnson? Because everyone was running around after the pep rally and after the initial change of ownership thinking they might go back to the Redskins, right?
Yeah.
Magic Johnson went on the Today Show and said everything's on the table. And people were running around with this narrative that they were possibly, or maybe probably, going back to the Redskins. So the first thing that came to my mind, and I said it live on the air that day, was, is Jason speaking for himself that they're not going back to Reds because he's heavily invested in Commanders?
Yeah.
Or is he speaking for Josh and his group? Because we did not know exactly what their thinking was. So that's all I asked. And then...
And did you get ripped by people?
Oh, my goodness. You would have thought that I committed like a crime by questioning whether he was speaking for just himself or the organization.
Were you being ripped by mostly like the people that are petitioning to bring back Redskins?
Well, I'm sure that was part of it, but also how dare I question the team president? How dare I question whether he was speaking for Josh or not? So I said, listen, I'm a talk show host, but I'm also a reporter. I said, I know how to do this, so I'm going to reach out to the team. So I reached out to the appropriate parties, including Jason. And a team and high-level executive got back to me like hours later and said he was speaking for the entire organization, not just for himself. Thank you for clarifying. Thank you for reaching out. And still yesterday, because, all right, I tried to get after some people.
You took victory lap.
Exactly.
The Rooster wanted to have his victory lap.
When you're the Rooster, there ain't many victory laps in life, okay? All right? So when you get a chance, you're going to, again...
Puff your chest a little bit.
The Rooster's going to strut.
Exactly.
You're ready to strut.
I know I'm going to mix up birds, but you're going to peacock a little bit.
Exactly. And all these dum-dums out there got mad at me for doing my job and for finding out something a week before Mitchell Rales announced it on Wednesday night.
Here's part of the problem. Don't be a reporter. Just be a talk show host.
That's fair.
It's much easier.
That's fair. That's fair.
You can just take the bombs and...
But he's got a million jobs, and being a reporter is part of that job. But essentially, once Mitchell Rales said it, you said, and I told you so.
Vindicated.
Basically.
How was the reaction there? I actually didn't pay attention to the replies. Did people give you a pat on the back and go, you were right, I apologize?
No, they all said I'm an...
You never hear from them again if they're wrong.
Right.
I mean, they hate me for no reason. I'm the nicest guy I know.
You are. I'll go with that.
Persecuted Rooster.
I mean, these people
Well, I personally think the people that want to bring the Redskins name back, and it might be a majority of the fans, a portion of those people will never give up. So it doesn't matter that Mitchell Rales or Josh Harris, it doesn't matter if they say we're not bringing back the Redskins, because there was still that little caveat of we're paraphrasing, but that we're going to listen to the fans moving forward.
You know what? This seemed to be more about how dare I question Jason Wright. And I wasn't even questioning Jason Wright specifically. I was just saying, hey, is he speaking just on his behalf?
And I think a lot of people, including the Junkies, wondered.
Right.
The same thing.
I think Florio wrote something as well, because a team source told me, hey, we're really appreciative that you reached out because Florio was running around doing something stupid. And I like Florio. I know you guys like Florio. Whatever. We all have our different opinions, different whatever. I was not. I've supported Jason Wright more, just about more than anybody. I mean, I was not questioning his leader. I was just simply saying everyone was running around with the narrative that this ownership group definitely is considering changing the name from Commanders, but could go back to Redskins. There was a petition, a fake petition, of over 100,000 people. Why wouldn't you just say, hey, wait a second. Sometimes people speak out of turn. Sometimes people speak, aggressively, whatever. Let's just find out, is he talking for just him or is he talking for Josh Harris? That's all I did. And people hated that.
And for the Chris Russell attackers, just say, I told you so.
I freaking told you, people.
Hey, let me just give you a compliment. I know, we're getting to the game.
I got to get off this.
I want to get a quick compliment.
The name
we'll get to the game.
It's killing me. Let's talk about the game.
One compliment.
You guys raise my adrenaline.
One compliment. You look good in those glasses.
Thanks.
I don't know that you... Have you been a glasses guy?
Oh, yeah.
Yes,
He always wears
noticing
glasses.
it. I think these ones look good.
He's had glasses on since he came out
Am
of the room.
I sexy? Am I Devin? No, I'm not.
I've never seen him without glasses.
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, I used to wear real nerdy glasses. I guess
These
these
are
make
different.
me look a little less nerdy.
Maybe.
But,
Sure.
I mean, you
That's
guys know
what it
as
is.
you get to a certain age, my hearing sucks. My vision sucks. I mean, I fall asleep at 9:30 if I sit my ass down in a chair instead of in my office. Like last night, I had to literally sit at my desk to watch the game so I didn't fall asleep.
Well, the good thing for you
mean,
then is
when you're old, you're old.
The game on Sunday.
Getting old sucks.
Is at
It
1
does.
p.m.
Yes.
You're not going to fall
Good.
asleep.
All right,
for that
give me
game. It's
a
1 p.m.
speak. Thank you for bringing
Thank you.
up the game.
It's called a pivot.
Speaking of the game,
Yes.
give me a scenario where Arizona beats Washington.
The only thing I can think of is a bust in coverage, a slip, a fall by Forbes, St. Juice, Kendall Fuller against Hollywood Brown, who's not even definite to play.
Yeah, he's banged up. He's their best receiving
I mean,
option.
he'll probably play, but not definite. Now, I do think, I don't know how, I think I heard you guys earlier this morning talk with, who did you have on before
Feinstein?
I thought it was before Feinstein. Did you have a guest on before Feinstein? I can't remember now.
No.
Just us.
Maybe you guys were just talking about how it's the Commander. I think this matchup comes down to the Cardinals offense versus the Commanders defense from this standpoint. I'm sorry. No, the Commanders offense versus the Cardinals defense in terms of the matchup advantage. I'll get to that in a sec. But if you get a slip and fall for whatever reason against a Hollywood Brown or a Rondale Moore, I guess if it's a close game and if they allow them to be in the game early fourth quarter, mid fourth quarter, you can always have that happen, and something catastrophic like that can happen. And you're like, oh my God, how did a 65-yard play come out of a 10-yard slant? That can happen. Guys can miss a tackle.
Sure.
Guys can slip. Whatever.
Busted
That's
coverage,
the only
right.
way I see this happening. I would be stunned, just like you guys. It would be a really bad sign for Ron.
Oh,
I wouldn't be
The
stunned.
worst
Well,
sign.
I'd be surprised. I would not.
Okay.
I would not be stunned.
Oh, of course.
I would be stunned.
Well, and if the offense looks like poo,
Uh-huh.
that's a bad sign for who else?
Bieniemy.
Bieniemy.
Well, Eric Bieniemy. Now, the only thing, the way I can defend that is first game as a play caller, or in a regular season game. He's working with a rookie plus quarterback, new offensive line in 4 spots. So I can maybe justify that. But Ron, if they lose this game, oh my God, people are going to expect Ron to be fired by Monday morning by the time you guys
we
get
have.
off the air.
I don't know if you've seen this. This is our new show bit, but this is the current date of Ron's first tea time. Be January 8th, 2024.
I missed that.
But Cakes.
That's great.
But you can change the
and
date.
I'm with Cakes. And if they lose the first game, what is the date going to be
Hold on,
for
I gotta
Ron's
find it.
first tea
It's
time?
very labor intensive. What's the date of the
10th,
Commanders game?
10th.
So it would be
So-
9/11, yeah.
It'd be 9/11,
Let me
yeah.
just,
So you got to switch it to September 11th.
Not a great day to
Not a great-
celebrate,
yeah,
but
no, certainly not.
All right, here's my scenario.
So maybe
Can
it'll be
I-
the 12th.
Can
Hold
I
up,
bounce?
let him finish the bit.
Okay.
There you go,
Cakes
there
takes
you
a
go.
while.
There's September. There it is.
Oh, gosh, Cakes.
Cakes
I mean,
boxed
it's
it.
I'm told you, it's very labor intensive.
I mean, that
September
would,
11th
that
or
would
12th.
be me doing that. Well, I have no dexterous skills or whatever that word is. So here's my scenario. What if they win on Sunday and say, maybe it's not an impressive blowout, it's just a win, 17-14, whatever.
Yeah.
And then they lose the next 4 at Denver, very possible. home for Buffalo, very possible.
At Philly.
Home Chicago on a Thursday night with the
Short week.
extended weekend afterwards. If they're 1-4 and they look ugly, that's my spot for
It's a
where Ron
possibility.
gets blown out.
Certainly a possibility.
You guys see that, or do you think
If
he
that's
gets, like,
happened, I don't think any
longer?
of us expect. Do you expect them to go 1-4 though? I don't expect that to
I don't
happen.
know.
I don't expect it. But
2-3 feels about
I
right.
think 2-3 feels right, and that's what I expect.
Yeah.
But if they're 1-4, or
Yeah.
certainly if they're 0-5, how do you not?
Well,
yeah, see
if
it.
you're 0-5, yeah. I mean, I just don't know if Harris will bring out the sledgehammer that early. Certainly a possibility.
Yeah.
But I think that he'll let him go a little bit. But in terms of the Arizona Cardinals offense, I'm sorry. Unless James Conner goes for like 150 yards,
Yeah.
there's just no way you can let
Like-
Josh Dobbs come in here.
No,
and
I
Like
do
they
it.
could have that one big play that you're talking about, but okay, that's 7 points.
Right.
Then where are the rest of the points going to come from
Yeah.
against this Commander's defense?
Yeah, it
like,
seems like it'll be
I have a
difficult.
hard time seeing
But
it.
that's the only way. I mean, Connor, Rondale Moore, again, Hollywood Brown, who deserves all of the miserableness that he can get in Arizona
Or misery.
or misery. I'm not an English major. I'm sorry.
Right.
Let's go with miserableness.
Yeah, I like that. I like that.
I like
better.
that.
Okay, but good for him. So that's the only way I can see that. What I'm curious about is
Kathy
this,
Bates started miserableness.
man, this Arizona defense, guys, if you think about it, right, it wasn't good last year. They struggled pass rush. They struggled in coverage. They were horrible. They lost their 3 best defensive players. J.J. Watt retired. I know he's always injured. Zach Allen, who they're going to see next week in Denver, was their best pass rusher interior. I think he had like 4.5, 5 sacks, but he was still really good.
He's good.
And Byron Murphy, their top corner, is now in Minnesota.
And they're starting a rookie corner.
Starting
And
a rookie,
they
and
also-
they traded away Isaiah Simmons.
Yeah, for a 7th-round pick.
I
they
mean-
said, bye, we don't want
Yeah,
you.
they-
We'll take whatever we can get in return.
They have gutted everybody. Now, Gagnon plays a more conservative, 2 deep shell and all this stuff style, doesn't blitz a lot. I wonder, this is just me, I wonder if he's going to blitz more knowing that the Commanders on offensive line are shaky, Sam Howell's a rookie plus, and I got no shot if I play it conservative like I normally do. I wonder if first game, if he walks out, he's, I'm going to show them. I'm going to show all these idiots that have been criticizing me how good I am, and if he whips out the blitzing stick.
If he gets blitz happy, then the enemy adjusts, and then you've got
Hopefully.
Dotson with the short crossers or the quick slant, and then it's trouble. for
McLaurin's going to
Arizona.
play, right?
I think so, yeah. I mean, he
But
was
the
full
one
go
weakness,
yesterday
I'll say
after
this
being
about
eliminated.
blitzing,
All right, good.
because some people believe all the teams are going to come after Sam Howell, that his weakness is getting sacked, his sack percentage in college, and what we saw in preseason, limited work, was he held onto the ball maybe too long in certain situations.
You're
Still
absolutely
only a
right.
couple of snaps.
Yeah. No, yeah, you're absolutely right. But that's what, to me, I want to see them, of course, you guys know me, I love to run the football. I want to see them establish the run, but I think that will get that short passing game going, which then, of course, opens up things on the intermediate and third level for McLaurin, Dotson. De'Ami Brown might be a guy that might have a
X
big game
factor.
in this one. If you're looking for a anytime touchdown score at a good value, you might want to throw some dollars down on De'Ami
Look
Brown.
at these
Just saying.
odds.
Now, one other quick thing that I was saying, that I was thinking in this matchup is Sam Howell. I also believe the short passing game will be a huge thing for the Commanders, not only Sunday but all year. They have not had a quarterback, and I mean, name your quarterback: Alex Smith, Kyle Allen, all these guys, Taylor Heineke, that could complete high percentage of passes in the short passing game. What I mean is short passing game: 5 yards south of the line of scrimmage, 10 yards north of the line of scrimmage. That 15-ish yard. They stunk in that area and have stunk in that area for years. If Sam Howell can be really good in that area, and I've seen a lot of camp, I haven't seen every practice. He was pretty good in that area is what I would say. If he's really good in that area, this offense is going to hum. This offense is going to be 24, 25 points a game,
Well, that's
which
what they
is a
need to do.
significant improvement.
De'Ami Brown plus 600
Ooh.
anytime TD score.
I like that case.
Pretty
Hey,
tasty.
would you play Dotson or McLaurin in your fantasy lineup?
Dotson.
I would. I mean, if the
100%.
choice is one or the other, I would go Dotson.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean,
Okay.
just for this week.
Just for this week.
I mean, Dotson's great.
And let's see
but-
what happens if
yeah,
how
exactly.
they produce. Yeah.
That's Chris Russell. Thank you for joining us in studio.
Thank
you
you,
can listen
fellas.
today from 1 to 4
I appreciate
on
you
the
guys.
Team 980. Follow him on Twitter at RussellMania621. and you can maybe get in a Twitter battle with him.
Yes, you could do that.
That's an
Because
X
it's
battle.
not that rare